The Google search ranking system is still suppressing your exact results right now, and the Department of Justice can't stop it. Regulators had the internal memos, they had the engineering testimony. They closed the case anyway. The feature Google buried to keep you searching longer still buried. The system that did it has a name. It's in the trial record. For 2 decades, Google's search ran on a simple contract. You type exactly what you want. You get exactly what matches. That contract even had a feature built around it, a verbatim search mode that locked your query word for word and returned only precise results. No interpretation, no synonym substitution, no helpful rewriting of what you meant. Exact match, it worked. Power users found it, researchers relied on it, and then Google moved it, quietly. No announcement, no deprecation notice. The access point went from a visible toggle to a buried submenu to a path so obscure that fewer than 1% of users have ever navigated to it. That wasn't maintenance. That was a decision. Here's what that decision looked like from the inside. During the 2023 Department of Justice antitrust trial, internal documents entered into evidence described a class of manual search adjustments the company calls twiddlers. A twiddler is not an algorithm. It is a human override, an engineer-applied weight that promotes certain results and suppresses others outside the ranking system that users believe is running. Google ran hundreds of them. The evidence also showed something more specific. Internal user research data demonstrated that when users found verbatim search, satisfaction scores went up. Users got the result they needed faster, they complained less, and they ran fewer follow-up queries. That last data point is the one that mattered. Fewer follow-up queries meant fewer ad auctions. The internal documents named the metric directly search monetization rate. Verbatim search improved user experience and degraded monetization rate simultaneously. The feature didn't disappear because it failed. It disappeared because it worked. The Federal Trade Commission investigated this first. In 2012, FTC staff built a case. An internal report, later leaked, recommended that commissioners bring antitrust charges against Google for manipulating results to favor its own products. The commissioners voted against it. Their statement called Google's changes product improvements. That phrase became the legal armor Google wore for the next 11 years. When the DOJ finally filed its case, Google's defense reached for the same language. The trial ended in 2024 with a federal judge ruling that Google had maintained an illegal monopoly in search. A remedy was ordered. Hearings began. And while those hearings run, the twiddlers are still running. The verbatim mode is still buried, and it's still happening. Here is the mechanism, and here is why a court order cannot fully unwind it. Google's search index and its advertising auction system run on shared infrastructure. The same user query that retrieves a result also triggers an ad auction. The number of queries a user runs, the length of a search session, the number of result pages viewed, these all feed directly into revenue. Google tracks this internally under a metric called search monetization rate. Every product decision that touches how users interact with search, which features are visible, which are buried, how results are interpreted, runs through a model that includes monetization rate as an optimization target. This is not a policy. It is architecture. Changing it is not a settings toggle. Changing it means rewriting the objective function of one of the most valuable systems ever built. When regulators say restore fair search, they are asking Google to actively optimize against a variable it has spent 15 years perfecting. The DOJ remedy hearings are considering behavioral changes, mandatory data sharing, restrictions on default agreements, potentially structural separation of Google's ad business from its search business. None of those remedies touch the internal ranking architecture. None of them force Google to resurface a feature that costs it query volume. The system that buried verbatim search generates roughly $200 billion in annual revenue, and it's still running. What this means for your searches right now. Every query you type into Google is being interpreted before results are returned. Your exact words are being expanded. Synonyms are being substituted. Your intent is being inferred, not based on what you need, but based on what query pattern produces the highest value ad match. When you search for a specific product by its exact model name, you are not getting results for that model name. You are getting results for the commercial category Google has mapped that query to. The verbatim mode would stop this. It still exists, accessible through a path Google has never promoted, never linked to from the main search interface, and never mentioned in any user-facing help document published in the last 5 years. The people charged with forcing Google to change this already tried. The FTC closed the case. The DOJ won the ruling. The feature is still buried. So here is the question the remedy hearings have not answered. If Google is ordered to restore fair search, who defines fair when the only people who understand the ranking system are the people who buried the feature? The documents from this trial will be sealed when the case closes. The twiddlers will keep running. And every search you run tomorrow will be interpreted by a system designed not to show you exactly what you asked for.